I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, should I take her back? I've got an email here from a viewer, and he says, hey Corey, I just came across one of your YouTube videos and began reading your book, and wow, you seem to be right on the money with everything. Might not always be right, but I'm never wrong. Thanks for providing such amazing value. I'm definitely thinking a phone session will be in order soon. To book a phone session, go to my website, click the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. So my girlfriend of 3.5 years had recently begun giving me the signs of a girlfriend falling out of love, decreased sexual activity, more time hanging with her friends without me, etc. After making several attempts to talk to her about our relationship, she finally admitted that she'd just begun having conflicting thoughts about being with me. She's just gotten back into school to finish her degree and now claims she is bugged by the fact that I'm not quite stable enough to be the provider. We're both bartenders and servers, and although she won't outright admit it, I know she's bothered that I haven't given her a ring yet. It's fairly obvious that she is ready to settle down and that her biological clock is ticking. I'm 26 and she's 27. Our schedules are rather opposite and busy. She works 3 jobs, 40 to 55 hours a week, along with school full-time that she's just added. I work 40 hours as well, and after watching a couple of your videos, I realized there wasn't much romance going on as of late. And although I've been trying, I even talked to her about our schedules and how I wanted to spend some time having fun together again. We literally almost never had the same time free. That sucks. That's what happens. Women fall out of love slowly over time. And plus, women like a guy that has ambition. They want a guy that has goals, that has dreams, things he's striving for. If you're just kind of floating along through life, working a job because it pays the bills, and you're not really that excited about it, but you're not really miserable enough to do anything about it, I mean, it sounds like your girlfriend or your ex-girlfriend has a little bit more ambition than you do. Women don't like that. They want the man to do, because think about it, masculine energy is all about purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing things in life. Feminine energy is about opening up to receive love. He says, after we talked, I thought she needed space to figure out what she wants, date some other dudes if that's what she wanted, so we broke up and I've just moved out. She emphasized over and over to me that she still absolutely loves me. It's fairly obvious to me, he says. She wants to spend the rest of her life with me, admits that she knows other guys won't match up. We spent 7 months broken up last year, which was my decision at the time, dating other people, and she still came back. But that she wants to feel more supported and just feels the need to see what else is out there. I understand where she's coming from. I want to be the man that will support a future family, etc. The timing of this just sucks because I have actually spent the last few months finally taking action in an entrepreneurial direction, which is my passion. Good job for you, dude. You have to do that. It's the only way you can really feel alive and happy as a man is to be doing something that you feel good at, because if you're doing something you love and you become successful at it eventually, you feel more alive as a man. You feel more successful. But if you hate your job and you hate your life, it's kind of hard to really be excited about your life. I mean, you can't get your girl excited about your life or your career if you're not excited about it. He says she just started hanging out with a total rebound guy, and he's only 23 years old, who I know had been flirting with her the final couple weeks of our relationship. We broke up 12 days ago. She is exhibiting the typical, I'm trying to get over you signs. Just recolored her hair. Whenever somebody has a major change in their life, they usually get a different hairstyle. Women, they change their hairstyle or color or whatever. He says she posts her fun activities on her social network 5 times normal. It's like her way of showing, hey, I'm out having a good time and I'm moved on. Everything's okay with me. Now, I'm smart enough to know that it's time for me to move on with my life. If we get together again someday, so be it. Well, it doesn't really sound like you're missing this girl too much at this point. So deep down, probably that's why you stopped, because she said she needed to feel more supported. And obviously you weren't dating and romancing her like you had once been, and that tells me that you really weren't that into her. And it's probably because most people stay in a relationship long after they should have ended it. I mean, you already dumped her once last year and took her back. He says, this reality check has motivated me more than ever to start pursuing my goals and dreams. Good for you, dude. Good job. Here's the problem. We are somewhat intertwined financially, so it's necessary that I maintain some contact with her. I want to keep things amicable, albeit with as little contact as possible, so I can just hurry up and get over her. Good for you. She, however, is taken to texting me constantly and how I'm doing, wishing me well, telling me she's excited and proud of me for taking action and getting my life together, etc. Only 7 days after the breakup, she told me that she misses me and still calls me by her pet names for me. It's like I'm still like that with girlfriends I broke up with 10 years ago. When we talk, we're still sweet to each other, and we're still loving to each other, and we're still friends, and I love my girlfriends. It's just that for whatever reason, our lives were moving in different directions, or our values were not aligned, and it's like you don't have to be an asshole to somebody just because you're no longer with them. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're moving in a different direction, she's moving in a different direction, and especially if you're not feeling it emotionally inside, then yeah, you need to move on. But I know how tough it is when you break up with a girl, because, after a couple weeks later, the reality hits. Even though you might not have really been that into it before it ended, it's tough when she still calls you and she misses you and says those things, because it's hard to move on when your ex is calling you and telling you those things. He says only 7 days. So he says, this is making it difficult for me because although I'd love to get back together with her, I realize that I have to move on. Should I straight up tell her, hey, I want to keep things more businesslike, so to speak? Why does she feel the need to tell me that she misses me already and communicate with me as if nothing's changed? Probably because she's probably having regrets, she's having doubts about it, because women are emotional beings, and in that case, she's going to be feeling it just like you're feeling it. And so she's probably trying to gauge and see where you're at emotionally in the relationship, or if there's potentially the possibility of you getting back together with her. He says she now has the freedom that she wanted and a new dude already. If she does come back, should I take her back? And I can't answer that question for you, but what I can tell you to do is that you need to trust what you feel inside. You need to trust your feelings. And like I said, obviously from your email, it doesn't really sound like you were in love with her and you were wanting her back, or you feel like you've really lost him, because at the end of the day, last year you dumped her and you broke up with her for a period of time, and you eventually took her back after she begged you to take her back or whatever. But you don't dump somebody that you're head over heels in love with. That's something to think about. So if your heart and your intuition communicates that she's the absolute best thing in the world for you and she's calling you all the time, just say, hey, baby, well, why don't you come on over? When are you free to get together this week? And let her tell you, and then make a time for her to come over, and you guys can make dinner together and cook together, hook up, hang out, have sex, just have a great time with her. And then she can stay the night, or she can go back home, or it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's up to you at this point. But don't take her back because you think it's what you should do, or she's begging you to take her back. You should only get back together with her if it's something that your heart compels you to do. And if I was a betting man, I'd say that this relationship ended a long time ago, and now you're probably, even though you're sad that it's over, but you're also probably a little bit relieved inside, because now you've got your freedom too. And so my advice to you is to figure out what it is that you really want in a girl, what you really want in a relationship. Because if you're not head over heels in love with this girl, then it's time to move on. There's too many people in this world that just settle because after a few weeks of a breakup, they get back together because they're scared they'll never find anybody better. And I'm sure this girl was great and everything, but at the end of the day, you got to look at the obvious, which was at some point, you stopped putting your best foot forward in the relationship. And so if you go back to this girl, all of the reasons and all the things that turned you off about her, that caused you to lose interest, to cause you to not date and spend as much time with her as you once did, they're still there. And even though you get back together, I mean, you already did this a year ago. And obviously the same things were there, and they're going to continue to turn you off. And so if she's not what you really want, if your values and your goals are not aligned, then in my opinion, you need to move on, because you'll have a much better quality relationship, and you'll be much happier down the road if you stick to your guns and grow a set of balls and some emotional muscle to say, hey, it's just better that we both move on here. And you may have to tell her, just say, you know what, I need time to heal from this, and I would appreciate it if you'd stop calling me and texting me constantly, telling me you miss me and all these things, because I really want to move on with my life. And the only time I'm going to get in touch with you is if it has to do with the paying a credit card bill or the lease or whatever it is that you guys are still intertwined financially with. But like I said, it's up to you. I can't make those decisions for you. You got to trust your heart. You got to trust your feelings. Don't listen to friends and family. They're going, oh, it'd be stupid to let her go. You know, because people that are married or people that are in relationships, they want everybody that they know to be in relationships, but they don't know what's in your heart. Only you can know what's in your heart. I don't know what's in your heart, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. But if you ain't feeling it, it's time to move on, because eventually you will find somebody better. You will find somebody that you fall in love with, and you will find somebody whose values are aligned. And if your girl doesn't support your purpose and what you're doing, she's the wrong girl for you. So if you have a question that you want to ask me or a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, and give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session, and you can do that by clicking the Products tab, which is going to be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, is a box that has a link to the Amazon Kindle download page for my book. Once you get there, if you don't have a Kindle device, all you have to do is download one of their free e-reader apps, and there's a button on the right-hand side of the page where you can click and download an app for your smartphone, your tablet device, or your computer. And it only takes a few seconds after you download the app to complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information in these videos or the articles on my website or my ebook on my website, you can show your appreciation by going to my website now and clicking the PayPal donate button, which is going to be on the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.